My name is Lumi from the Peace Poets, and I'm here calling in from Lenape territory in the Bronx, New York City. It's good to be here with y'all. Today we're gonna be singing, we're gonna be wheat pasting, creating all types of good things, good creations to be out in the world with. And we want to open it up with a song. I'm gonna pass it to my brother Luaya, who is in JFK Airport, bringing it to you live and direct with a song that he wrote. Hit it, Lou.
Thanks, Lumi. Peace, family. Greetings. It is so good to be connected tonight. We are gathered to create in the face of destruction. And that is such a powerful thing. And so thank you for bringing your creativity. Thank you for bringing all those who have helped inspire you to create. Tonight, I actually want to bring the voice of one of my beloved relatives, my auntie Karina Gold from the Bay Area, with this first song. She says that the ancestors came to her and told her that now is the time to protect the sacred, and that's this song is written based off of that wisdom. And so when we sing this song, I'm inviting those of you who are just arriving. Welcome to everyone. We're inviting you to go ahead and bring those who give you strength, to bring your ancestors, to bring your relatives who love you. You maybe also want to bring those in your life right now who are going through a hard time, and you can carry them with you, because we're always made stronger when our community is connected and together. And so that is what we're doing. And in that spirit, we're going to sing this song again, tapping into Auntie Karina's wisdom. I'm going to invite you to speak these words wherever you are, and don't be shy. You can just say the words out loud because they're powerful words, and words are spells, and we need that. And so we're going to speak the words the ancestors have spoken. Now is the time. Protect the sacred. Stop the pipeline. Thank you for speaking those words. Now we're going to give them life with a little bit of melody. And so wherever you are, we're inviting you to sing. I know it's a little funny, my people, to just, hear a sound coming out, hear a voice coming out the screen, to sing with it. But we are inviting you to be in that spirit, to sing these words, to join our vibration, because that's what this creative energy is all about. So here we go. We're going to start with this song. We're going to welcome our ancestors. We're going to connect to each other. We're going to be on the same vibration wherever we calling in from. Here we go. The ancestors have spoken. Now is the time. Protect the sacred. Stop the pipeline. Try that with us. The ancestors have spoken. Now is the time. Protect the sacred. Stop the pipeline. Sing it out. The ancestors have spoken. Now is the time. Protect the sacred. Stop the pipeline like a promise. The ancestors have spoken. Now is the time. Protect the sacred. Stop the pipeline. Sing it with me. The ancestors have spoken. Now is the time. Protect the sacred. Stop the pipeline. Yes, my people. So we're doing so amazing with this opening song. We're getting on the same vibration. Our relatives are still coming in, and we're just going to sing it 2 more times. And this time when we sing it, we're going to be a little bit louder. We're going to be a little more determined. We're going to sing it like a promise that it is to stop this pipeline. We're going to sing with all our faith in the power of the people to stop this pipeline. Here we go. 2 more times. Sing it with me now. The ancestors have spoken. Now is the time. Protect the sacred. Stop the pipeline. Last time. The ancestors have spoken. Now is the time. protect the sacred, stop the pipeline. Love and gratitude, my people. Thank you for singing with us. Welcome.
Thank you so much. That was incredibly beautiful and powerful. And we are so grateful to have y'all with us tonight. So welcome everybody to learning how to use art in your actions next week during the week of action and always in your actions. We know that using art and music and theater and all of those things is what makes our movement beautiful. So I, again, welcome. My name's Amy. I'm the co-coordinator at Stop the Money Pipeline. And I am going to pass it over to Sai and David to introduce themselves as well. And then we'll dive into learning about art.
Thank you, Amy. Hello, everybody there. My name is Sai. I go by he, him pronouns. I'm originally from Northern Arizona in the Nation. Where I was born and raised, but I now reside in the Bay Area. I am the Creative Resistance Coordinator for Indian Action on the Indian Collective. It's good to be here. I'm calling out of Rapid City, South Dakota right now. And I'm glad you all made it. Thank you. Pass on.
And David Solnett here on Ohlone territory, Richmond, California, he, him. And very excited for tonight and so appreciative to Sai and Indian Collective for throwing down on this crazy project and all the artists and activists and creative folks who are on this call.
Awesome. Thanks y'all so much. So David and Sai will be walking us through the art and all of the things that come with using art in the movement. And then we're going to talk a little bit about media pitching and how to really amplify your action next week. And then we get to hear more beautiful music and singing. So I'm going to pass it over to Frankie and Lou to introduce themselves, and then we'll get started.
So Peace family, again, my name is Frankie, aka Lumi from the Peace Poets, coming at you from Lenape territory here in the Bronx, New York City. And it's a pleasure to be with these incredible artists and organizers, activists who I love and respect, as well as to be here with you all tonight. I hope that wherever you are, you get to tune in, be present, bring a loved one in on the action as well, share this out with your friends and family, share the links, and keep this as a resource. We're going to be leading some songs later on with T from the Thrive Choir as well from the Bay Area. And again, it's a pleasure to be here with you all. Peace.
Thanks, Lumi. Peace family. Again, my name is Lou Aya of the Peace Poets, also here in Lenape territory. And it's just so good, like I said, to be gathered in creative spirit. Love and respect to each one of you. And shout out to the organizers. Also just mad gratitude to Indian Collective and Stop the Money Pipeline. This is sacred work, and we are humbled as the Peace Poets to be able to do it with you and support any way we can. Gratitude. Peace.
Thank you so much. All right, so as many of you know, Indian Collective, Stop the Money Pipeline and the front lines called for a week of arts visibility actions next week, July 12th through the 18th. And I'm going to share some links into the chat. We will also send these out in our follow-up email. But included in these links is our promo toolkit. This will help you amplify your day of action and amplify the week of action. The organizing toolkit to help you organize your action. The art toolkit, which has all of the beautiful art you're going to see tonight, as well as the art that has been shipped to you all that should be arriving in your mailboxes any day now if you haven't gotten it already. And then finally, the Action Network link, where you can look up some of the actions that people have registered. And not everyone is registering their actions on Action Network because we sometimes don't like to publicize where we're going to be week pasting. Because for some of us, especially in certain areas of the country, that can come with a bit of risk. So we like to keep it a little bit quiet until we share our videos and our photos. So make sure you check out all those links and check out the map. And if you haven't registered your action and you want to, definitely go to that link and sign yours up. And don't forget, we'll be sending an email out early next week reminding you of where to share your photos and your videos so that we can make a video out of them and amplify them on Stop the Money Pipeline socials and Indian Collective, and share them out throughout the movement. And now I'm going to pass it over to David to talk about our beautiful poster art newspapers.
So just a quick thing about the newspaper. We printed 10,000. It's 24 pages, which means it's got 10 full color posters. But if you're wheat pasting, it has, 6 different ones, because many of them are double-sided, so you can only wheat paste one side. You have to make some tough choices there. And we've shipped out and distributed over 6,000 to over 400 groups and activists. So they're fanning out across the United States. And apologies in advance, but we had some trouble getting them in the mail quickly and getting our stuff from the post office. So most of them should be arriving this week by Saturday, and a few will arrive on Monday. And feel free to reach out to me if you want to check or if they're stuck. And huge apologies to Canada. We sent some bundles to Canada, but we're not able to afford both the shipping, and also we're concerned about the delay that it would happen after the week of action. The other option people have is all the art is downloadable. I'll talk a little bit about more making signs to download it and also to screen print it. Thanks, Amy.
Definitely. So now we're going to get to some more the exciting part. So David and Sai are going to talk about how do we use these art posters? Like, what do we do with them now that we have them, or now that you're going to have them in the next couple days? What is wheat pasting? What does that look like? How do we do that? Making signs and pop-up art shows and projections, screen printing, all of our favorite things. So I will pass it over to them to dive into the art.
Do you want to start us off, Sai?
Yep. I'm going to screen share here for folks. What is going on here? Let me. Okay, so we're going to get into some. As soon as I can get this started for us. Here we go. Everyone see that? Art is never closed. Thumbs up. Okay. All right. So wheat pasting. What is it? Wheat pasting is just a general term for all the adhesive that you're going to be using to paste onto surfaces, preferably smooth areas, but you can also paste onto texture areas too. Some of the materials I'm going to talk a little bit about, like newspaper print, pretty much what you all got, is an ideal one to start off if you're just starting out. When you get into more glossy paper, or different textures, or thicker paper, then it gets a little bit more challenging. But the more you do it, the better the practice, and you know, we all learn from experience. You can see here on the left here, there's art is never closed, an example of cardboard being wheat paste. There's paper being wheat paste. There's newspaper being wheat paste. You know, replacing the negative and the positive. You can also just write and scribe with a Sharpie and paste it on, as long as you have the contrasting colors to convey your message. Some of the things you want to do is have a wide brush. So I have a couple examples here. There's this is like for masonry. This is for painting. Natural bristles are the best ones to use, like so. This one probably costs like $2 at the hardware store. Squeeze bottle is good to have. Containers with a lid that close is also good to have. A reusable shopping bag or tote bag where you can keep all your supplies in. And a rag is also good to have on hand. Sometimes it's also good to have a little box cutter just to be able to make adjustments and stuff, but that's basically it. So to the right here, we have a couple of recipes from some artists that I work with. Maybe we can share this through a follow-up email so you can read it thoroughly. If Amy can put into the chat, the wheat paste, it's a website that I use, and it's very basic. It shows you how to do it on top of your stove. I'm not going to get into that right now because of time, but I made some for myself, and I'll show you here in a second. Here are some examples of wheat paste out in public. Some of them here to the right is at a training. The one on the left seems to be a screen print onto, looks like a magazine. And then on the right side are a couple examples of how you can use spray paint and on paper and then cut them out. So you can see some of the examples there. Someone scribed with a marker and pasted right on. Some things, some other materials you can use are stencils. You know, the privacy of your own home, you can take your time and do your work and to perfect it, to color and contrast. And then you can go out and place them, cut them out and place them and basically collage them however way you want, right? Here's an example that was a community mural about a person who lost her life, and it was a memorial about all the people in the community and shared memories on a piece of paper and shared it on this wall. It's a great medium to use on the fly. Like if you want to do, you pretty much can do this within a few hours or overnight, and then put a party together and have a good time posting up. This is newsprint, Sharpie on newsprint. Sharpie is really good to use because it doesn't bleed when you actually put the wheat paste on them. So you want to test it out firsthand. Some inks and some markers you use can actually bleed. So Sharpie is a good one to use actually. Here's an example of how advertising in the public space, billboards have used wheat paste to advertise, but this artist here took and changed the message around specifically buying vehicles that are not fuel efficient. So they twist the words of this, I think it's a Lamborghini that was a gas guzzler, and conveying the message in their community. So let me take that. So right now I'll just go ahead and show you some examples. Here's basically the newspapers you're getting. It's pretty much two size, and then I cut this one out so you can show you like other tricks you can do. So just cut it around the edge using a box cutter. Then I just paste the one on the bottom. But you want to take in consideration the contrast of your work and also your letters, so if people can read it. And then here's an example. So of a sign. It's basically a cardboard, double-sided. Has a handle that comes in and out of it. So you can take your sign and sandwich two pieces of cardboard together, tape the edges all the way around, and just paste it right on. And if you put a nice coat on it, let it dry, and then put another coat on it. This side doesn't have a top coat, but this side has a nice seal to it from the elements. That's that. Another thing the reason why using a double-sided sign is good is if you have a sign that's already made and you're using rulers, the other side it gets obstructed, so you want to sandwich it with two sides so you can and it's also very rigid. I use the grains going one direction, and then the other side, the grains are going the other direction. So it makes it pretty stable and pretty durable. So this is kind of what it looks like on the inside. So I measured out the stick, and then where the stick goes is where the glue goes. So you just go ahead and paste it on together with glue, and then you just tape the edges, and then this is where you would insert your ruler. So I'm going to go ahead and wheat paste crystals piece. So what you want to do is get a container that's big enough with your brush. Just get a little bit out. Measure the surface you're going to be covering. So you want to be able to go outside of With wheat paste, you want to use excessively. So that's why a bigger brush is better. You know, if it's dripping, it's gonna get messy. Basically what I'm doing. It's good to have extra hands. Put that right on. Start from the center and go out. Then from here, you can go ahead and put another layer on top, right? This one I creatively kind of give it a drop shadow with the white border. So I'm gonna go in here, put it on the bottom, place it where I want it, start from the middle and go out. So drying time, it depends on where you're at. If it's a dry climate, it'll dry a lot faster. If it's cold, if it has direct sunlight, some of the dryings are going to vary. So you want to test it out beforehand. I use this on a piece of cardboard, you know, to kind of give me an idea if my mixture is good or if I need to add a little bit more into it. Wheat paste, you can use wheat flour, or you could use cornstarch. Some people use sugar. Some people pour a little bit of Elmer's school glue in there, and the consistency with water, using warm water is at best. The downside to it is you want to use it right away, or else it'll mold up and start to rot and start to smell really bad. So you want to take care of it because it is a perishable substance. So that's sweet paste.
Awesome. And there was one question in the chat about the glue that you use to sandwich the cardboard together. What type of glue is best?
Oh, yeah, you can use school glue, the white stuff, or you could use wood glue. Either one's fine. If you have access to hot glue gun, because that's the same substance they use to put boxes together as hot glue. So make sure it warms up pretty warm, and then you can use it. And that works right away.
Yep. And then there was one more question, like what kind of volume would you suggest for people who are doing 6 posters, like a small amount? And then, you know, if they're doing a lot more. And I saw David put in about 1 gallon for 20, 30 posters, but I didn't know if she saw that answer. So I just wanted to make sure we talked about that.
Yeah. You want to answer that, Dave, with your gallon ratio, maybe?
I mean, we went out in Oakland and we did 75 posters and used about 1.5 gallons. So I figure 30 or 40, depending on if your surface is really rough, then it takes up more. And you also want to not have it be too sloppy unless you live in a dry, hot place.
And David, that was like under like an hour or so, and there was a team of like 4 teams or something like that, right?
It was, but it was also we have a BART line that has pillars, about 4 or 5 every block, and they're perfect wheat paste on. So it was kind of it's a dream wheat paste situation. So it might be harder in other places to look for light boxes or whatever, and yeah.
And also folks were wondering how far in advance can they make the paste, and can they store it in the fridge? And then like how big of a batch do you make before it's no good anymore?
I would say the day you make it, so the day you use it. It'll go like 1 or 2 days, depending on the substance you use and how you store it too. Well, if it's exposed to air, it'll start to go bad.
But the refrigeration will extend it.
Yeah.
And some ideal surfaces I look for are like metal traffic boxes, something that's not too porous. Like a rough fence would be difficult, but if it's painted, it's a little bit easier. I start driving around my town looking for every surface has a potential wheat paste. And then you also want to think about, in terms of both risk and community impact, is like, do you want to do it on people's residential property or business property, or just on public areas, which is more typical, and also risk in terms of, if you have any awareness of what the impact will be if you're seen or stopped. So just stuff to think about. And I think Sai mentioned it about, I often carry it in like a nice shopping bag, so I'm not walking around with a 5-gallon bucket with a roller in it, but just it looks like I'm shopping.
Yeah, I would say to take it upon yourself to do the research in your cities. There's a lot of places that are legal. Some cities are legal, yeah, and open to e-pasting. I noticed that a lot of businesses are open to it since it's a temporary piece, rather than doing, if they don't have a full-on permanent mural. Some community spaces are open to it, and you can go large too.
Awesome. All right, folks, we're getting lots of questions, which we will keep addressing here. We have a little in-between time later where we're going to have some more time to answer questions. But yes, like just for the folks, like I print stuff on my printer at home and I wheat paste it and it totally works and doesn't run. I just make sure that it's nice and dry, and I print it on good paper before I do that. That's, that you can wheat paste with. Don't do it on cardstock because it won't stay on the wall. And then, anywhere, I see all these great ideas in the chat about where you're going to wheat paste these, and we're not going to, hypothetically, wherever you put them, just make sure that you're being safe and you're researching in your local area the different consequences for this kind of stuff, because it is different everywhere. Like nowhere is the same. And so, just make sure that you're being smart and being careful, and you should be okay. And we're going to keep moving so we stay on time. So I'll pass it back to David and Sai to talk a little bit more about pop-up art shows, projections, screen printing, and all of that fun stuff.
Jump in a little bit and talk about doing a pop-up art show. On the newspaper on the backside, and this is all also everything we're talking about is available in the art kit. The artists had each put a statement about their art and why they do it to stop line 3. And so just so much appreciation to the folks who made the beautiful artwork to tell our stories. So what I did is I actually hung a little pop-up art show behind me, and I took the statements and formatted them, and we'll put this up on the art kit later, and I'll send a link when I'm done talking. But I just loved having the idea of having this next to them. And I did a title page, which you can download along with all the statements, and print out, that just says Defund Line 3 art exhibit with a quote from Tara Hauska. And so I just took the posters and sort of like Sai, put them on a rigid backing. This was an old campaign sign I had that I just cut to size. And I just used a roll of masking tape to go around the edges, which also protects it a little bit. I printed out this on just on regular paper, and then I glued it onto a rigid backing. And here I'm using a clothesline, but if you have a fence, you could clip it to that. A wall, you could tape it to that. This is another one. This one I actually used spray adhesive, and I just gave a light spray all over, and I tacked the poster on. And one thing that helped, especially after they've been through the post office, especially if you're doing an art show, is to actually lay the posters down and iron them and get the creases out. This is a fancy art show. And then the last one, I just found a cardboard box. Often I'll go to a windshield place or appliance, someplace that has big posters, and see if I can get one that's not too folded so it gets smooth, and then again taped around the edges there. One thing I saw a couple days ago is folks in Eugene, Oregon, Patty from 350, not Eugene, I'm sorry, Corvallis. She took one of the election signs that was a lawn sign, gave it a little primer so it would stick, wheat pasted the sign on, and then she stuck them in her lawn. I'll get a picture of that up on the art kit. And then a lot of these designs, if you go to the art kit, there's black and white versions. So I've been using some of the black and white versions to make screen printed art. So this is Crystal Clarities. I took the black and white version. I burned a screen so that I could print it. Printed it on fabric. And then, and this is a great project for an art build. I actually looked at her design and I sort of did my best effort at it. And we painted up a bunch of them. And so I just took a latex or acrylic paint, mixed about 3 or 4 parts water, so it's really light. So you can see it where I overlap. You can still see all the black, and just gave it a pretty light color wash. And then I put sticks on the top and bottom. This is printed on muslin and mounted it on a sign, or mounted on a stick. You could also take these and, as I had, either screw them or staple them on. I think that's it. And then I've also been using a lot of the designs to make patches, small square patches with safety pins in the corners that you can put on your shirt, jacket, or bag. And we've been also making a lot and sending them to support the folks on the front line in Minnesota. And I think the last thing I'll just mention is street murals. I think a lot of people have seen street murals, but encouragement. We've been doing them outside our banks, a whole block long one in front of Wells Fargo World headquarters. And there's a sort of a level of escalation. I noticed that standing at line 3 during the Treaty People gathering, people did a beautiful street mural in the street, and they used chalk because they didn't want to use paint. And one thing they used that I'm very excited about is they just took charcoal, because it's hard to get. You have to go to a fancy chalk place to get black chalk. So this is just charcoal briquettes. And something I've been experimenting with is taking old sheetrock scraps and using it as white chalk, which is, you can go to a lot of building dumpsters or a building store, you get scrap, and you could potentially fill a huge area with that, as well as sidewalk chalk. So that's one. And then we here often use kids tempera washable paint that you can get at art supply store, or Lakeshore Learning is usually the cheapest. And then the big escalation, which a lot of Black Lives Matter street murals have done, and we've done it locally for around an Ohlone sacred site, is to use a more permanent house paint. And in the art kit, there's a huge instructional that has sort of a checklist of everything to think about and step-by-step on doing street murals. And if you do one, we hope you'll send us a picture. I think that's it on me. And Sai, do you want to jump in a little bit more on flags and banners?
Yes, thanks, Dave. So other than the sign that I was showing that we made, you can definitely make them bigger. If you have access to a projector, you can project your images onto a larger, if you get like a queen size flat sheet and cut it in half, that's usually like 4x8. So that's a good ratio to use. I remember we went to a hotel at one point and asked if they're throwing any sheets away, and sure enough, I got a couple of bags of them, and just cut them right in half. They're already hemmed, ready to go. So I'll take Crystal's design for an example. If you take this image here and put it on a banner, maybe long ways, you can take this message and run it off to the side. And so you have this big, bold, powerful message just asking you to defund, that you could lay it out on the side here with the images on the side, maybe one on one side or one on the other side if you want to. Those kind of banners are great for taking up space on in the streets, but you can make them as long as the width of the road. So your message is out there. And so when photos are taken, people can see them from afar, from across the street, from moving traffic. When people are moving at speed, you want your signs to be bold and stand out. So I'm just going to share this. I think this is on page 3. There's create stencils, signs, and banners is the title. And it just talks a little bit about stenciling, what's some of the important takeaways from that and steps into doing your own stencils. And then just talking about like usage of banners too. The toolkit that we'll be providing in your emails has like a arts guide that gets into banner sewing and make with using material, using glue if you don't have a sewing machine, hot glue gun. but also using a sewing machine if you want to go that route. There's some screen printing how-tos on there, and all those links can be shared with you all. And there are a little bit of like how-to videos from the stencils and step 1, step 2, step 3, and then using 1-color stencils and then using 2-color stencils. So those resources are there for you all to use. And yeah, that's all I wanted to share so far. I would like to see what people come up with. I'm always interested in that. I do run trainings throughout the year with a training network of people. We can definitely put you on some of the lists for the next coming trainings throughout the year.
Awesome. So we've done all this stuff, and so we talked about street murals, signs, flags, and banners. So I'll pass it over to David to talk about street murals.
I just touched on that lightly and referred people to the kit and the art kit. So I wonder if I could pass it back to you, Amy, to share some ideas, and then maybe we can start crowdsourcing.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I was answering questions in the Q&A when you were talking. I missed that part. But happy to keep answering everyone's questions as they put them in the Q&A. So yeah, creative bank action ideas. This is one of my favorite topics because I love to do creative bank actions. I am so drawn to street theater and making actions, really just fun and doing things that are unexpected. So some of the things that we've done in the past, recently on the May 7th day of action that we did for defunding line 3, we did a dirty deposit. So I love to thrift things for my actions because it's the best way to not, to watch your carbon footprint and not buy things brand new, like not ordering from Amazon, places like that. So I'll head over to my local ARC or Goodwill or whatever thrift store y'all can find. I bought a suit jacket and an old briefcase. And then I went to the kids section and I scored some fake money and I got a top hat from their, hat collection. And so we all dressed up as dirty bankers, and I printed a sign for the outside of my briefcase just on my printer at home. It was super simple. I made it in Canva. You can also make it in Google Docs or Adobe or whatever, Photoshop stuff that you have. And it said, we'll sell soul for profit. And then I put a bunch of pictures on it and we taped it to the outside of the briefcase. So the group of us dressed up, went to the bank we had a letter to deliver, which Stop the Money Pipeline has in the toolkit that you can print to deliver to bank managers. But we took that letter and that was how we got in the door dressed like we were. It was pretty ridiculous looking. And then once we got in, the bank manager saw us immediately. The people in the bank, kind of freaked out, and immediately someone got on the phone, which I assumed, was calling the police, which is fine. But I handed him the letter, and then, he was like, well, are you a customer? And I was like, no, but I want to be. I have all this dirty oil money, and I need a place to deposit it. And I heard Wells Fargo loves dirty oil money. And the look on his face and just the other people that were in the room, there was a lot of snickering, and it was fun, and it was, it was a different kind of action than just sometimes protesting outside of the bank or delivering the letter. We've also done amazing things, like we've done plays in the middle of a bank lobby, where one of us is the dirty oil, person with the banker stuff, and then we act out a scenario with the money, and we tell them, well, we want to destroy indigenous territory, and we're going to destroy the water, and we know that you want our money from doing all these things because you've been hiding it for us for years. And when the people outside and inside the bank start seeing these great plays and the stuff that you're acting out, it gets their attention. It's also really newsworthy. So if you're able to send out a press release or live stream it on Facebook or Twitter or wherever, people tend to tune in and watch when they see you kind of making a fool of yourself. And I don't mind doing that at all. It's actually one of my favorite things. I've had sword fights in public hearings. I've done all sorts of I dressed up as a coal plant one time I made it out of poster board. I made a coal stack and attached it to the top of my head. And I had tissue paper coming out of the top that looked like smoke. And you can do these things with pipelines too. You can take poster board and you can roll it up, tape it all together, and you can take a big pipeline into a bank and you can give them the pipeline. There's all sorts of creative things that make your action visual and beautiful and powerful. When we use these kind of tactics, when we go to the banks, it also helps diffuse the situation a little bit, because sometimes, you know, these folks who work in the banks, like, we realize that the workers, like, it's not their fault that, you know, they're putting food on the table and a roof over their head, and we can't fault, you know, the workers in the bank. So it kind of helps diffuse the situation if you're doing something that is funny or entertaining to them. You know, it's like, oh, okay, like, these people aren't scary. You know, they're doing a play in our lobby, and so they tend to, like, take a deep breath, and they're not as combative. And sometimes they let you stay, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the police show up and sometimes they don't. And you'll get, you know, you can get kicked out of the lobby, or, you know, whatever it is. But at least you made your point. You delivered the letter, you delivered your pipeline, you live streamed it and brought awareness to the fact that these financial institutions are funding climate chaos and they are funding the destruction of our planet. And we have to hold them accountable. So those are some of my favorite tactics. And I'll pop my email in the chat for anyone who would like to talk through some tactics or actions. I'm always available to bounce ideas off of and help folks brainstorm. So now we want to hear from you guys. Like, this is another favorite thing that this crew loves, is to hear what y'all are planning that we haven't heard about or seen. And I know that we're in webinar style, so it's not, you can't come off mute and tell us, but if you would love to tell us in the chat, I will verbalize, you know, what you're writing, or tell us about your action. Tell us what you're doing with the posters, or tell us about an action you've done recently to help stop line 3 or defund line 3, whatever it is. And then I will answer some more of the questions that are in the chat. So if anyone wants to share in the chat, I will pause for a minute. We'll give folks a second to type some stuff in there, but I'll look through the questions. I see Becca, she lives in a small rural conservative town. Where do you suggest I post her? I also live in a conservative town. I live in so-called Colorado Springs, Colorado, and occupied Ute, Cheyenne, and Arapaho territory. And it is it's right-wing conservative here. We have focused on the family. So it tends to, you know, get a little scary, but I personally like to hit up my downtown because there's lots of cool little alleyways to get in, and putting them downtown is really easy because it can be done quickly, and you can kind of scoot around those smaller areas and wheat paste a little bit. Let's see, I see C says that they're hosting a drag king show and a fundraiser, which is awesome. That sounds amazing. Lynn she's gonna share, she would like to share a different poster each day next week on our Women Rising Radio Facebook page, and also feature the artist bios. Where can I access all of them online? I will share again the art toolkit link where those are located. And this is where you can access them to download them and use them. But I will also send it out in a follow-up email to everybody who attended tonight. So don't worry if you can't grab that out of the chat. Let's see. We've got Deborah is heading to their downtown with some smaller towns to poster in high foot traffic intersections. That sounds awesome. Luke is looking for actions around the Portland, Seattle, Oregon coast area, going solo and planning on wheat pasting around the town of Astoria or all week and then going into Portland. I will put my email in the chat. Luke, I have some folks up in the Seattle area who I can connect you with who are definitely going to be out and about. We also have our friends at 350 PDX that definitely will be out and about. So I'll pop my email in the chat and can connect you with those folks. In Indianapolis, they're going to be picketing the Chase Bank on Broad Ripple. And Brian is interested in Canastoria. Yes, Dave, I can let David talk a little bit about that because that's where I got it from. Tessa is saying that her goal is to host a pop-up art show outside of a Chase Bank in Brooklyn. We currently have open streets on the weekend, so I'm hoping a lot of people walk through. We're also going to have some people walking around with posters and petitions to petition Chase Bank to stop funding Enbridge. That sounds awesome. Postering action in Ottawa, Canada's national capital, home of their federal liberal government who relentlessly support Enbridge. Yes. Dave C wants to know, have you ever used any stilt walkers? Ooh, I have not. David, have you?
Yeah, we've done actions with stilt walkers, which are amazing, especially in busy cities because they're very visible. We actually had friends from Wise Fool Puppet Intervention, local street theater group here and in New Mexico, and they used to be oil men walking on stilts in business suits with briefcases in one hand and oil can in the other. But it's kind of amazing because all of a sudden you can be 10 feet tall. And there's instructions on how to make stilts. You would want to practice well before you go out in public and have a support person. And sew very long pants for yourself.
Thank you. Let's see, Brian, they're having an art and music show in front of an open Chase Bank branch. Centerpieces are the screen signs we bought for the previous day of action and painting in colors. Awesome. Terry, they married government in line 3 in front of City Hall. Government ran away from the marriage. That's entertaining. I love that. Lisa has 2 retaining walls at the front of her house and has started painting some murals with acrylics. Good news, B of A and Chase Bank are both right down the street and there's a lot of foot traffic. Oh, that's awesome. In Madison, they're doing a flash mob in front of a Chase during farmers market and pop-up art show. And they're having postcards for people to sign and send to the banks. That's awesome. And Sarah wants to know, are there events in the Oakland East Bay area? Let's see, they're going to paste the posters, hand out flyers at Chase Banks and getting a projector to make a big one for a mini banner drop. Chicago will be slithering around downtown. Good for Chicago. Ron, who is actually a really good friend of mine in Colorado, has created 2 5 by 15 banners. One calling on Biden to stop line 3. The other calling to defund, and placed every Friday over a busy highway and live stream along with signage with phone numbers for Biden and phone numbers for the governor of Minnesota. I've seen the live streams, they are amazing and the banners are gorgeous. Folks who signed up for the art to be shipped, I see you asking that question, you didn't get a confirmation email. Yes, there is the art. If you already signed up through the art form, your art is on the way. And it should be there any day now. It got shipped out this week. And for folks asking if they can still get hard copies of the art, we might be able to open that up, but I will think about, David and I need to talk about opening up the form again. And being able to ship out more art. But I did put my email in the chat and I'll put it in again so that folks can email me and ask me about that and I can give them a good solid response after this. Alec is on and has got a whole bunch of folks. 718's going out with posters in Seattle next week. Very exciting. I see tons of stuff going in the chat and I can't keep reading all of these because we got to stay on time. But all of these actions sound amazing and beautiful. And thank y'all so much for signing up to get this art. This is such a fun way to make a difference and to go out and do something beautiful. So now we're going to move on a little bit. I am going to share also in the chat. Jackie, our comms coordinator at Stop the Money Pipeline, asked me to share with you tonight this media pitching guide. And this is to help you with all things media and all, amplifying your action. So it's got how to send out a media advisory, a template media advisory that you could just copy and paste, a template press release, some social media posts for Instagram and Facebook. She put this together for everybody, and it is a wonderful resource to be able to use to help amplify your actions. So definitely check out that resource. And I will also send that out in our follow-up email, just along with every other resource I'll be sending out tonight. And now I am very, very excited to pass it over to Frankie and Lou to talk to us about music, and we get to hear some more gorgeous music. So definitely stay tuned for this part, and we'll keep answering questions and I'll address some of the things in the chat. And yes, I will open up the permission. I'm sure that just forgot to happen before. I'm on it. So I'll pass it over.
All right. So peace again, family. This is Frankie, aka Lumi of the Peace Poets, coming at you from Lenape territory here in the Bronx, New York. And I am so excited. It's been amazing to hear. Sai, David, thank you for all of that incredible work that you're doing, as well as all of the artists who have contributed thus far. It's been amazing, Amy, to hear you also read everybody's actions. This is really exciting. What's up, Peter? So it's awesome, and I want to get y'all ready to sing out in these actions as well, and provide some resources that have been co-created by so many different communities throughout the years. I'm gonna have T from Thrive Choir also join me and lead in some songs. They'll be coming on shortly, but just want to propose this to y'all, and feel free to type this in the chat, and just to think about this for yourself. Why do you sing? Why sing? Why do you sing? And even more importantly, in this context, why would you sing at these actions? It feels good, Oliver is putting out there. Yes. Think about that for yourself. Why bring music? Why bring art into the space to connect with spirit, to sing for liberation of my soul? Yes. I already had so many answers, but I just thought that I'd put that out to y'all because y'all know best. The community knows best. And we know why we do what we do. When they continue to militarize, we continue to harmonize and humanize. It connects us to our breath. It brings courage, for sure. And we want to continue painting and co-creating the world that we want to see. And we have the opportunity to do that nice, loud, and clear in a beautiful way, with song, with art, in a powerful way that not only touches people in the space itself, but is documented, that will continue to literally reverberate and echo through time. And to also put in our messaging, to gather us, to ground us, to connect us together, to put our messaging very, very clearly. And so we have some beautiful examples of that that we're gonna get into. So wherever you are, if you're in your living room, in your office, in your kitchen, like Luaya, like my brother Luaya invited you earlier in the session, feel free to sing with all your heart. Feel free to sing with all your spirit. If you got your family next to you, yo, let's make it a choir. let's do this. So with that, I want to start off with a gathering song, and this is a song that is dedicated to those moments where we have just come together. Perhaps people are trickling into the event, into the space, into the venue, and we want to set the vibe. We want to set a clear intention as people arrive. And this song has a story. This is called Voice of My Great Granddaughter. It was a song that came from the Flood Wall Street action years ago. I believe at this point, almost over 10 years ago, wow. And it was when so many thousands of people came out in the streets of Wall Street in downtown New York City, Lenape territory, and called for Wall Street to be held accountable. And the words go like this. If you can sing along with me. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm gonna put a link in the chat to this incredible songbook that David created as well with the lyrics. So here's the link. Please feel free to sing along. And again, this is the voice of my great granddaughter. So wherever you are, if you could repeat after me, the people gonna rise like the water. Yes. We're gonna face this crisis now. I hear the voice of my great granddaughter singing "Keep It in the Ground." And so I'll go over it a few times. Please feel free to jump in wherever you feel. If you got some harmonies, if you got some instruments out there, feel free to put those in there as well. I can't see you right now, but I could definitely I know you're there. And so it goes like this. The people gonna rise like the water. We gonna face this crisis now. I hear the voice of my great granddaughter singing, keep it in the ground. Come on. The people gonna rise like the water. We gonna face this crisis now. I hear the voice of my great granddaughter singing, keep it in the ground. Beautiful. The people gonna rise like the water. We gonna face this crisis now. I hear the voice of my great granddaughter singing, keep it in the ground. The people gonna rise like the water. We gonna face this crisis now. I hear the voice of my great granddaughter singing, keep it in the ground. Keep that going. The people gonna rise like the water. We gonna face this crisis now. I hear the voice of my great granddaughter singing, keep it in the ground. The people gonna rise like the water, gonna face this crisis now. I hear the voice of my great granddaughter singing, keep it in the ground. Come on. The people gonna rise like the water. We gonna face this crisis now. I hear the voice of my great granddaughter singing, keep it in the ground. Come on. The people gonna rise like the water, gonna face this crisis now. I hear the voice of my great granddaughter singing, keep it in the ground. Yes, family. I felt y'all. I saw the panelists singing along as well, but I could feel y'all through the Ethernet and the interwebs. So again, that's a song to gather us. So that's one that we've sang across Turtle Island, reminding us about all the young people who are taking charge right now and all those not yet born. And so we hear that, we tap into that, like someone said, tapping into spirit, and we know that we're connected in that way. So thank y'all for singing along. I'm gonna keep it going. We have another song, another gathering song, and it's called "The Ancestors." This is the one that Luaya had sung earlier in the session, but I'll sing it again because it's that important. Again, echoing Auntie Karina's wisdom that the ancestors have spoken, that now is the time to protect the sacred and stop that pipeline. All right, so sing that from deep in your soul. It goes like this. The ancestors have spoken, now is the time. Protect the sacred, stop the pipeline. Come on. The ancestors have spoken, now is the time. Protect the sacred, stop that pipeline. Come on. The ancestors have spoken, now is the time. Protect the sacred, stop the pipeline. The ancestors have spoken, now is the time. Protect the sacred, stop the pipeline. For our young people, ancestors have spoken, now is the time. Protect the sacred, stop that pipeline. For our elders, ancestors have spoken, now is the time. Protect the sacred, stop the pipeline. The ancestors have spoken, now is the time. Protect the sacred, stop that pipeline. Come on. The ancestors have spoken, now is the time. Protect the sacred, stop the pipeline. One more time. Ancestors have spoken, now is the time. Protect the sacred, stop the pipeline. Yes, family. All right. So with that, have the honor to pass the mic to my co-facilitator, T. And what's up, T? How you doing?
Hey everybody. Thanks. I'm so glad to be here. Thanks, Frankie. Hey Lou. Hey David. Hey Omi. Hey Amy. Hey Sai. So glad to be here with you. My name is T. I am the lead organizer of Thrive Street Choir, which is a group of folks that sings at marches and rallies and protests around the Bay Area. And I feel so honored to be here with you. And you know, Frankie, I think I just need another minute to kind of track what the flow is. So I'm gonna pass it back to you, and then
No
I'll go on to the
problem.
next one. Thanks.
No problem. Yes. Yes. So again, we were checking in around the gathering song and setting that vibe and intention in our actions as people come in, and we'll move on to grounding. All of these songs, of course, you can sing them at any time, but we want to just through the wisdom of the years, we know that different songs have a different vibe for a different time. And so we're going to get into it. We have songs for gatherings, have songs for connection, songs detailing the messaging of the action very clearly, songs for when we're facing adversaries directly. So we got some of those. We know that folks are planning actions at the banks. We got some fun ones for that. And of course, songs for closing in ritual together. So this song I'm going to do right now is called Shaking Ground. And it's a song that the Peace Poets we wrote during our time at Standing Rock when all of folks from across Turtle Island, from across the world, were coming together to stand up for Standing Rock, to stand with Standing Rock, to stand for Standing Rock, and we again saw the indigenous people of all of this land calling for this coming together and for the facing of these folks who were the Black Snake, and so the songs go like this. The song goes like this. The ground is shaking. Let me hear you say that. Because all the nations have come to say, this land is native, and we protect the water, and we honor the land. All right, so y'all know the words. Words are also in the chat right there. I'll again post this link so you can follow along with this amazing songbook that David created and has all these lyrics as well. So it goes like this. The ground is shaking 'cause all the nations have come to say this land is native and we protect the water and we honor the land. Let me hear you say, the ground is shaking 'cause all the nations have come to say this land is native and we protect the water and we honor the land. Let me hear y'all. The ground is shaking 'cause all the nations have come to say this land is native and we protect the water and we honor the land. Come on. The ground is shaking 'cause all the nations have come to say this land is native and we protect the water and we honor the land. That last line. And we protect the water and we honor the land. I'll pass that to you, T.
Thanks, Frankie. Love that song. Yeah, the next kind of theme that we want to introduce is connecting songs that share who we are and represent who we are and who we carry with us into actions. And this song, Flow Free, is another Peace Poet song. The words are, "We will stop line 3, the people and the water will flow free." And it's real simple, it goes like this. We will stop line 3, the people and the water will flow free. Try that with me. We will stop line 3, the people and the water will flow free. We will stop line 3, the people and the water will flow free. We will stop line 3, the people and the water will flow free. And again, we will stop line 3, the people and the water will flow free. We will stop line 3, the people and the water will flow. Couple more times. We will stop, yeah, line 3, the people and the water will flow free. We will stop line 3, the people and the water will flow. Last time. We will stop line 3, the people and the water will flow. The people and the water will flow. The people and the water will flow free.
Yes, T. Thank you so much for that. It's so awesome to connect with T from Thrive Choir out in the Bay Area. Um, Such incredible musicians, incredible singers, incredible people, and activists, constantly inspiring. And this is what this is about, to inspire each other. So when people pass by the action, they want to join in and they want to sing in. And one of the best things that I found with singing in actions is that this will go home with them. They'll be listening to this all night. It'll be stuck in their heads. It's contagious, and that energy that we bring is contagious. It's not always joyful, but it is in celebration of our collective liberation. That's for sure. This song that I want to present to y'all is called "The Protectors." I'm gonna put that in chat again. Oh, thank you, David. Thank you so much for putting that link in. So this is called The Protectors, and this is a really powerful one because it can be sped up and still sung in a powerful way and audible way as well. It's called The Protectors, and it goes like this. Repeat after me. Rising with the mountaintops, flowing with the oceans. We are the protectors. Our spirits have awoken. We are the protectors. We are the protectors. And so again, this is a statement that we're clearly making, that we will stand, that we are accompanied not only by the power of our community, by everybody joining in on that action at any given time, but also with the mountaintops, with the flowings of the oceans, that nature itself is conspiring to survive, and that we are in connection with that we are in connection with Pachamama, and that we are also conspiring in her favor. And so sing this powerfully, sing this again from your soul. It goes like this. Rising with the mountaintops, flowing with the oceans, we are the protectors, our spirits have awoken. We are the protectors. We are the protectors. Come on. Rising with the mountaintops, flowing with the ocean. We are the protectors, our spirits have awoken. We are the protectors. We are the protectors. Rising with the mountaintops, flowing with the oceans. We are the protectors, our spirits have awoken. We are the protectors. We are the protectors. Rising with the mountaintops, flowing with the oceans. We are the protectors, our spirits have awoken. We are the protectors. We are the protectors. Let's speed it up. Rising with the mountaintops, flowing with the oceans. We are the protectors, our spirits have awoken. We are the protectors. We are the protectors. Come on. Rising with the mountaintops, flowing with the oceans. We are the protectors, our spirits have awoken. We are the protectors. We are the protectors. That's right, we are.
Thanks, Frankie. This next song is No Pipeline, No Way. It's another Peace Poets song. And I love the words of this one. It says, the water and the river say, no pipeline, no way. And the wind and the sky say, no pipeline, no way. And the fire in our hearts say, no pipeline, no way. And the earth beneath our feet say, no pipeline, no way. We gonna stand up for the water, for the sacred land we honor. So it's all the elements saying, no way, no way, no pipeline, no way. So sing this with me. The water in the river say, no pipeline, no way. And the wind in the sky say, no pipeline, no way. Try those first two lines with me. And the water in the river say, no pipeline, no way. And the wind in the sky say, no pipeline, no way. And the fire in our hearts say, no pipeline, no way. And the fire in our hearts say, no pipeline, no way. And the earth beneath our feet say, no pipeline, no way. And the earth beneath our feet say, no pipeline, no way. And the next part goes like this. We gonna stand up for the water, for the sacred land we honor. We gonna stand up for the water, for the sacred land we honor. We gonna stand up for the water, for the sacred land we honor. We gonna stand up for the water, for the sacred land we honor. Water and the water in the river say, no pipeline, no way. And the wind in the sky say, no pipeline. And the fire in our hearts say, no pipeline, no way. Earth and the earth beneath our feet say, no pipeline. Let's do water again. And the water in the river say, no pipeline, no way. And the wind in the sky say, no pipeline, no fire. And the fire in our hearts say, no pipeline, no way. And the earth beneath our feet say, no pipeline, no. We gonna stand up. We gonna stand up for the water, for the sacred land we honor. We gonna stand up for the water, for the sacred land we honor. We gonna stand up for the water, for the sacred land we honor. We gonna stand up for the water, for the sacred land we honor. And the water in the river say, no pipeline, no way. And the wind in the sky say, no pipeline, no way. And the fire in our hearts say, no pipeline, no way. And the earth beneath our feet say, no pipeline, no. Last time we gonna stand up. We gonna stand up for the water, for the sacred land we honor. We gonna stand up for the water, for the sacred land we honor. We gonna stand up for the water, for the sacred land we honor. We gonna stand up for the water, for the sacred land we honor. And the water in the river say, no pipeline, no way. No wind in the sky say, no pipeline, no way. And the fire in our hearts say, no pipeline, no way. And the earth beneath our feet say, no pipeline, no way. Thanks, everybody. Back to you, Frankie.
Thank you, T. Thank you so much. We actually still have Luaya on the lines right now. He's waiting for a plane um, to go on the run for salmon out west. But he is in JFK Airport, live and direct. He couldn't get it from
Hey,
JFK. So I'll pass it to you, my brother.
thank you so much. This is so powerful to sing with you all. Thank you to those who are making noise right now in your kitchens, your living rooms, your rooftops, your stoop, wherever you at right now. Let's just keep doing this. And when we do this, we're casting spells out into our neighborhoods, right? We're singing songs that maybe our neighbors are hearing, and we're singing songs that we're going to have with us. So these are tools that can be used not just in action, but in our living room. They can be, at our on our block like that. I want us to think about that. And so this next song right here is a celebration of showing up for Indigenous rights and Indigenous life. In our movements, sometimes we need to be at war, and so we don't take time to pause and be in our gratitude. But when we were recently up there, right where at the headwaters of the Mississippi, in Anishinaabe lands, we sang this song, and goes like this. I'm just gonna go ahead and sing it with you, because you're gonna get it right away. Don't be shy. The words are, "We are so blessed to be here, standing for Indigenous rights. We're so blessed to be here, standing for Indigenous life." Here we go. We are so blessed to be here, standing for Indigenous rights. And we are so blessed to be here, standing for Indigenous life. Try that with me. We are so blessed to be here, standing for Indigenous rights. We sing, we are so blessed to be here, standing for Indigenous life. My people, you're doing it so amazing right now. You learning that song and you singing it and you bringing that melody. When we do it this last 2 times right now, I want you to think about all the people who are doing this right now, the protectors who are on the front lines, the protectors who are organizing to defund the banks, the protectors who, not just in Turtle Island, but across the world, are standing up for the Pachamama. And this is not a small thing to be connected. Tonight, wherever you are, in your efforts, in your intentions, in your actions, in your prayers, you are connected to these people. And we are blessed to be connected. So let's sing it like we mean it. We're going to do it 2 more times. We are so blessed to be here, standing for Indigenous rights. We say we are so blessed to be here, standing for Indigenous life. Last time, we are so blessed to be here, standing for Indigenous rights. Yes, now we are so blessed to be here, standing for Indigenous life. Thank you so much, y'all, wherever you at. Thank you for singing. It is an honor to connect our voices and connect our struggles. Peace.
Hey, thank you so much, my brother. Safe travels, safe flight, straight from Terminal 4 right there, straight from the gate. um, amazing. Thank you, my brother. And thank you for that. Thank you for that beautiful reminder of why we're doing what we're doing. All right, so T, I think I'm gonna jump around into the defund and facing adversary song. We know that a lot of folks here are gearing up for those bank actions. Yes, yes, yes. That was incredible to hear about all the street theater that is being planned as well. Again, to inspire and wake folks up, shake it up. And so we got some songs for those moments that perhaps you are facing people that are working at the local bank or working as pipeline security as well, or uh, the cops show up and have to decide which side they're on. And so these songs are detailing the violence against our people um, or the land and who's responsible for it as well. We have that amazing opportunity, of course, in songwriting to really name that as well. And so this song right here is called Turn the Tide. And it goes like this. When your daughter's thirsty and the river is dry, and there's no blue left in the sacred sky, it will be too late to cry. You were on the wrong side. Now's the time to turn the tide. Now's the time to turn the tide. When your daughter's thirsty and the river's dry, and there's no blue left in the sacred sky, it will be too late to cry. You were on the wrong side. Now's the time to turn the tide. Now's the time to turn the tide. Sing that with me. When your daughter's thirsty and the river's dry, and there's no blue left in the sacred sky, it will be too late to cry. You were on the wrong side. Now's the time to turn the tide. Now's the time to turn the tide. Come on. When your daughter's thirsty and the river's dry, and there's no blue left in the sacred sky, it will be too late to cry. You were on the wrong side. Now's the time to turn the tide. Say that with me. Now's the time to turn the tide. When your daughter's thirsty and the river's dry, and there's no blue left in the sacred sky, it will be too late to cry. You were on the wrong side. Now's the time to turn the tide. Now's the time. Now's the time to turn the tide. One more time. When your daughter's thirsty and the river's dry, and there's no blue left in the sacred sky, it will be too late to cry. You were on the wrong side. Now's the time to turn the tide. Now's the time. Now's the time to turn the tide.
Yes, thank you, Frankie. Love that. This next song is also one for facing adversaries, for being right there on the front line. This is It's Bigger Than a Pipeline. And the words are, it's bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a job. Say that with me. It's bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a job. If you don't respect our mama, we won't respect your laws. Try that with me. If you don't respect our mama, we won't respect your laws. So it goes like this. It's bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a... Whoa, I just lost the words. It's bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a job. Sing that with me. It's bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a job. If you don't respect our mama, we won't respect your laws. If you don't respect our mama, try that with me. If you don't respect our mama, we won't respect your laws. It's bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a job. If you don't respect our mama, we won't respect your laws. Bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a job. If you don't respect our mama, we won't respect your laws. Yeah, sing it with me. It's bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a job. It's bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a job. If you don't respect our mama, we won't respect your laws. A couple more times. Bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a job. It's bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a job. If you don't respect our mama, we won't respect your laws. It's bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a job. If you don't respect our mama, we won't respect your law. Last time. It's bigger than a pipeline. It's bigger than a job. If you don't respect our mama, we won't respect your laws. Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
T, thank you so much. That was beautiful. Peace, Brian. Thank you for those prayers for everyone here and on this beautiful planet. Yes, keeping it connected from wherever we are. Um, so again, songs for facing adversaries and defunding. Um, T, just to take a brief pause in the singing, I had opened up with why we sing. So maybe if you want to, and folks also put into the chat why they sing. So what are some reasons you sing, T?
Yeah, thanks for that question. I sing for a bunch of different reasons, and a few of them are it's so much keeps people's spirits up when we're out there on the streets. And it's a good way of conveying a message that people can hear. So if someone's driving by and they see all these protesters and they're wondering what is going on, why are all these people gathered? And there's a song that really explicitly says the message, defund line 3. It's so clear. If you're out there singing, defund line 3, all the cars driving by will say, oh, I know exactly what's happening there. or they'll maybe think they can look it up and learn something about it. So I think it can convey the message. It can keep people's spirits up. It's a way of bringing people together so that if people are on the streets saying, okay, we're here for this action, we're here to stop a pipeline or to defund so and so, then it's a way of getting people to come together so that people aren't practically just standing there on the streets wondering, okay, what do we do now? What do we do now? Well, let's come together and sing a song. Let's keep our spirits up and keep ourselves together and convey that message. So those are some of the reasons that I sing.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you for that, T. Keeping it connected, and especially during these times where so many of us have been so disconnected for so long. It's an honor, it's a privilege to be able to sing together for justice and for social justice, for climate justice. Peace Poets, we've been together for the last 15 years in relationship. We always talk about the relationships tied to the songs that we create because there's been so many communities that we've walked with that have co-created these songs with us who have been out there for not only climate justice, migrant justice, for police accountability as well. And we know the power of coming together and lifting our voices and singing for the messaging and also for ourselves to keep our energy going. So this next song that I want to share, it could be a gathering song, it could be a closing song. It's a gentle reminder that we have not come here alone, that people have taught us, have nurtured us, have fed us, have challenged us even to rise up to ourselves, to the occasion, to community. And so the words go like this: I have not come here alone. I carry my people in my bones. I have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. All right, y'all, sing with me. Yes, Brian, music vibrates through our souls. So it goes like this. Here we go. I have not come here alone. I carry my people in my bones. That's right. I have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. I have not come here alone. Nah, I carry my people in my bones. That's right, that's right. I have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. Say it together. I have not come here alone. I carry my people in my bones. Yes, I have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. I have not come here alone. No, 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 no. Carry my people in my bones. That's right, that's right. I have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. I have not come here alone. Never that, never that. Carry my people in my bones. Always. I have not come here alone. And if you listen, you can hear them in my soul. That last line. If you listen, you can hear them in my soul. One more time. If you listen, you can hear them in my soul. Yes, family. All right. So we are connected. That includes you, Luaya, if you're still listening in in the plane. Hey, he is. He just wrote in chat. All right, so I'll pass it back to you, T. Thank you, family.
Yes, Lou from the airport. Yeah, thanks, Frankie. I love that song so much. That's one of my favorite songs to bring anywhere. I have not come here alone because it helps me to connect to my own ancestors and to remember that we all come from somewhere, and we get to show up in action and solidarity and resistance. And also we all come from stories and lineages, and it just feels so strong to remember that. Where do we come from, and how can we bring that into the movement work that we're doing? Each of our own stories. This next song is one that came through me. It's called May This Body Be a Bridge. And the words, may this body be a bridge for the healing of this land, come from my friend Saeed Abdallah, who spoke those words in the context of the Palestinian liberation movement. He said, he grew up in Palestine, and he said, may my body be a bridge for the healing and the liberation of my people. And this song has been sung on the front lines of many pipeline resistance spaces, and so please take it with you. It goes like this. May this body be a bridge for the healing of this land. Try that. May this body be a bridge for the healing of this land. And the next part says, may the river flow through us, cleansing greed from our hands. Say that with me. May the river flow through us, cleansing greed from our hands. May the river flow through us, cleansing greed from our hands. May the river flow through us, cleansing greed from our hands. May this body be a bridge for the healing of this land. May this body be a bridge for the healing of this land. May the river flow through us, cleansing greed from our hands. May this body be a bridge for the healing of this land. May the river flow through us, cleansing greed from our, yeah, sing it a couple more times like you mean it. May this body be a bridge for the healing of this land. May the river flow through us, cleansing greed from our hands. Last time. May this body be a bridge for the healing of this land. May the river flow through us, cleansing greed from our hands.
Wow, T. Wow. Thank you so much for that song. Ooh, so powerful. We were checking in earlier talking about the songs dedicated to this segment that we've titled the Facing Adversary song and Defund songs. And we were talking about how that could be such an amazing song for direct action, thinking about which are going to be the songs that are going to keep the people's spirits going when perhaps you're blocking a door or locking yourself down to a bank, whatever it is in the bank that you might be doing so too. And just thinking about what's going to keep your spirits going when you're in action and being in action anywhere. Perhaps you just needed that song just to wake you up in the morning and to keep you going. A reminder that you're a prayer that your body be that bridge to heal the land and that the river may flow to cleanse the hands of greed. Incredible. So thank you so much, T. Thank you so much for that song. This next one that I want to do is dedicated to our collective liberation. Yo, peace to everybody who's also has to head out. All good. Thank you so much for being here. Blessings on wherever you're going next. Blessings on all the actions that you're doing in your neighborhoods, with your family and friends, in your community. Blessings on all your travels. And again, remember that this is also on Facebook and is a resource. What's up, future Facebook people? All right. So this is a song for our collective liberation moving forward. And it goes like this. My liberation is your liberation. And your liberation is my liberation. So let me hear the people say, let's get free. Let's get free. Let's get free. All right. So the lyrics are right there for y'all. Thank you, David. Um, Here we go. Let's sing it nice and loud and con ánimo. My liberation is your liberation, and your liberation is my liberation. So let me hear the people say, let's get free, let's get free, let's get free. My liberation is your liberation, and your liberation is my liberation. So let me hear the people say, let's get free. Say, let's get free. My liberation is your liberation, and your liberation is my liberation. So let me hear the people say, let's get free. Say, let's get free. My liberation is your liberation, and your liberation is my liberation. So let me hear the people say, let's get free. Say, let's get free. My liberation is your liberation, and your liberation is my liberation. So let me hear the people say, let's get free. Say, let's get free. My liberation is your liberation, and your liberation is my liberation. So let me hear the people say, let's get free. Let's get free. One more time. My liberation is your liberation, and your liberation is my liberation. So let me hear the people say, let's get free. Say, let's get free. Yes. I almost heard y'all. Beautiful people. Thank you. Thank you. See, let's see here. Oh, beautiful. I love this one. This next
Yeah.
one.
Why we were made, huh?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, we just got a couple more songs, it looks like. I love that last one. So fun. This next one is why we were made. The words are, we are not afraid, we are not afraid. We will live for liberation because we know why we were made. Just like this. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We will live for liberation because we know why we were made. Sing it with me. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We will live for liberation because we know why let me hear it. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We will live for liberation because we know why we were, that's right. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We will live for liberation because we know why a few more times. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We will live for liberation because we know why we were made. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We will live for liberation because we know why last time. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We will live for liberation because we know why we were made. We will live for liberation because we know why we were made. Yes.
Thank you, T. Thank you so much. Family, we're almost closing out with our song section. But thank you so much for singing. I hope that wherever you are, that these songs have inspired you, that they've been a resource to take with you on your actions in the upcoming weeks. And thank y'all. We look forward to not only singing with you, but also hearing all the songs that come from the actions. I think of youth, the amazing organization Youth versus Apocalypse out in the Bay Area, who is constantly thinking of the most amazing creative ways to get people to be part of the art. And I think about this new project that they're doing where they have TikTok videos where they're getting folks to sing the song, or TikTok videos having people raise up their signs about why they're standing up for climate justice, constantly bringing people into the conversation and into the creation process as well. So looking forward. This is just one resource of a song list. Also, just to note, you can listen to these songs as well on movementmusic.org. We've created a nice G drive folder in there, so you could also listen to these. And also, again, a gentle reminder to share this, not only for the song section, but also for what David and Sai also shared earlier. It's an amazing, incredible resource. There's also in the chat, as well as I'm sure in the links to wherever you're finding this video, links to the resources that have been made, all the promo and the arts and the songs as well. So this song has a story behind it as well. Lou and I went out to visit with our Anishinaabe relatives, our Ojibwe relatives out in uh, in the Twin Cities, and this song is called Gitchigami, the Ojibwe word for Lake Superior, and it's very clearly tied to line 3. I'm trying to see if we have it on the song list, but that's okay. Oh yes, it is. It's under connecting songs. There it is. And this is sung straight from the heart, and it's calling on us having courage to stop line 3 and to continue this beautiful work. So let it carry you. Let all these songs carry you through the week. Share them with a friend. Share them with a loved one, and it goes like this. If you love the water, Gichigami, have the courage to stop line 3. If you love the water, Gichigami, have the courage to stop line 3. Sing that with me. If you love the water, Gichigami, have the courage to stop line 3. Come on. If you love the water, Gichigami, have the courage to stop. Line 3. If you love the water, Gechigami, have the courage to stop. Line 3. That's right. If you love the water, Gechigami, have the courage to stop. Line 3. Sing it to the person next to you. If you love the water, Gechigami, have the courage to stop. Line 3. Sing it out. If you love the water, Gechigami, have the courage to stop. Line 3. One more time. If you love the water, Gechigami, have the courage to stop. Line 3. Yes, family. Hey. So again, thank you all for being here. The resources are all up in the chat, all up in the links. I'll pass it back to T to close this out.
I'll just say thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. It's been so good to sing with you here. And if you want to connect with Thrive Street Choir, I'll put the link in the chat. And it's such an honor to be here with the Peace Poets and with Sai and David and Amy and Lou from the airport. So yeah, just a big thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think I'll hand it over to David or Sai or Amy, whichever one of you wants to take it from here.
Yes, I will grab it from here. Thank you all so much. That the music, absolutely beautiful and so inspiring. This is my favorite. Like, this is the webinars that I live for, is the art and the music, and having all these beautiful voices and all of our friends here to share this with us. Absolutely amazing. And thank you all so much for sticking it out with us tonight. I know this was a long webinar, but we just can't fit all of this beauty into 1 hour. It just can't happen. And again, I will be sharing out all of the resources that we talked tonight, including all of the links. I will save the chat, I will download it, and then I will send it out tomorrow to everybody, along with a recording that will go on our YouTube. But if you want to grab that recording earlier and share it on your Facebook, it is on the Stop the Money Pipeline Facebook right now. And a big thank you to Sai and David as well for all of the art and putting all of this together, and the newspapers getting sent out, and all of you tonight who were with us. Thank you so much for taking this art and putting it into your community, because this is the real work. This is going out and doing the things that need done to protect our land, to protect our water, and to protect our people. So thank you to all of our artists tonight. And I am going to play us a closing video, but go ahead and feel free to say goodbye in the chat and send all your thanks to all of our panelists tonight. This was absolutely just beautiful. And I am going to share that video tonight, and then expect an email from us with all the follow-up. So thank you.
The sun is setting, yeah, on fossil fuel. Come on. The sun is rising on renewable. And it feels like dawn. It feels like dawn. It feels like dawn in my heart. The sun is setting, yeah, on fossil fuels. I don't know. The sun is rising on renewable. And it feels like dawn. It feels like dawn. It feels like dawn in my heart. Yeah, it feels like dawn in my heart. When we rise, we will hear the music. When we rise, we will paint the future. When we rise, hear the music. When we rise, we will paint the future. When we rise, we will
Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. And we will see you all soon in the streets. Defund Line 3.